Hello everyone, it's Martin from Martin John Training. I've spent a lot of my career carrying out negotiations in the corporate world, and I'd like to share my top 10 negotiation tips with you. Tip number 1, be warm on the person and tough on the issue. Rapport building is your secret weapon. I'm not saying to try and be your counterpart's best friend, but do take the time to know their name, know how to pronounce their name, and use it throughout the negotiation to make things more personal. Find areas of common ground and similarity. That could be favourite music, favourite places you visited, favourite food, anything really. Just try and be human and smile. Smiling and being human is surprisingly disarming. Tip number 2, preparation. I recently read that 40% of negotiators don't have the time to prepare before they go into a negotiation. This is a recipe for disaster, or at least a suboptimum outcome. You need to do some legwork up front. Think about what would be the best outcome you could possibly get from the negotiation. Think about what would be an acceptable outcome, and also think about what would be the minimum outcome that you want from that negotiation. Write these down and talk through them with a colleague to really cement them in your mind. Also, think about what your counterpart might want from the negotiation. Finally, think about your strengths and your counterpart's weaknesses. This will give you a sense of enormous confidence going into the negotiation. Tip number 3, your walk away point. Now this is critical. It's vitally important to establish in your own mind the red line that you mustn't cross. And in a negotiation, you must stick to it. In the cut and thrust of the negotiation, it could be easy to get carried away. So make sure you're absolutely crystal clear on this. If you break this rule once, you're likely to break it again and again. Tip number 4 is a common one, your BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated agreement. What's your plan B? You need to have something prepared in your pocket in case you don't get what you want from the negotiation. In the case of where you're negotiating your salary, your BATNA might be that you already have another job offer. Or if you're a buyer, could be the case that your BATNA would be you have an alternative supplier already lined up. Tip number 5, ask lots of open questions. How, what, when, where. Notice though, I haven't said why. Why can often be interpreted as a confrontational question. Go beyond what your counterpart wants and seek to understand why they want what they want. What are the hidden motivators that are driving their request to you? It's really useful to think about the kind of questions you might use in a negotiation in advance while you're preparing. Tip number 6, use empathy. Try and put yourself in your counterpart's shoes to truly understand their position. Listen. No, really listen. Make your counterpart feel as if they've been heard. Periodically, summarize the position that they've presented to you and restate it to them and get confirmation from them that you've understood them correctly. It might be useful to get one of your team to really focus on what's being said, but also what's not being said, observing the body language. Tip number 7. The best negotiators will come to the table armed with a wish list of things that you would like and also the things that you're prepared to trade and concede. The more options you have, the better, and they needn't be price. They could be payment terms, access to key personnel, technology, innovation, other resources, supplier training days, the quality of the lunch when you go and visit, anything really, just get creative. Tip number 8, trading. When you're trading items on your wish list, do so on a conditional basis and use the phrase, if you do this, then I'll do this. For example, if you give me a 3-year contract, I'll give you a 5% discount. Or if you change your delivery schedule to once per month, I'll hold safety stock for you. Tip number 9. Now this is going to be controversial, I guarantee. The negotiation world is divided on who makes the first offer. I think it depends. If you're buying a product or commodity for which you have several years maybe of price history, or where there are many suppliers selling the same product and the price information is in the public domain, I think it's fine to open first, but do so with an ambitious price. If you're buying something that's unique or for which you have no price history, then I'd certainly recommend not opening first. And by all means, do not disclose your budget to your counterpart. In this case, try and get your counterpart to open first. And you never know. Their opening offer may be way below the price that you're expecting to pay. So, super surprise. And if their opening offer is way above your budget, don't fall into the trap of being anchored to that number. In fact, ignore it. If that's the case, that's the time when you deploy your counter anchor, and that should be beneath even your optimistic price. We're on to tip number 10 now, and this is a good one. Under no circumstances, ever, I hope I've made myself clear, give anything away without getting something in return. The main reason for this is that if you give something away for free, your counterpart will smell blood in the water and they'll come back again and again seeking to get a further concession from you. A little bit like a cute dog at a table, smiling up at you, you've just given it a morsel of food, yet it still wants more. Except your counterpart isn't likely to be as cute. So there you have it, my top 10 negotiation tips, all of which you'll learn and more on my one-day negotiation course. Negotiation is a skill that anyone can learn. It's fun and it'll get you a better deal both at your work life and also outside of work. There's a lot more to learn about negotiation, so if you're curious, please do get in touch via my website. The details are to follow. Meanwhile, happy negotiating everybody, good luck.